Welcome to CGTN Special Live from urban areas, just 1 hour drive from Kyiv. I'm CGTN reporter Jiaxin.
And I'm CGTN reporter Zhao Yunfei. This could be one of the most difficult live streaming we've ever had in the past because literally this is a very special situation over here in Ukraine. We traveled all the way from Lviv over here.
So just we took about 5 hours from Lviv and we just live 1 hour away from Kyiv. But during the trip, actually, we've seen a lot of trade of this conflict happening going on over the past 6 weeks, right?
And I would like to say the first half of our journey is quite normal. We don't go through any of the, we don't go through the checkpoints, you don't know that this is a country that under the shadow of the conflict and crisis. But over here, when we come over here, and on the latter side of this journey, we see a lot of the sites are being disturbed. For example, this is the gas station or rest station of the E40 highway, a highway that connects the western city of Lviv to the capital city of Kyiv. It's also a very important highway that connects the eastern and western Ukraine. Just look what's behind us. This is the gas station and it is completely destroyed. And this is just one of many, right?
Yes, actually we just passed one petrol station which was also shelled by the artillery by the process. As we can see that there must be a fierce fight between the two sides, and we can see the bullets have marks. And also I can tell you that there is a hotel behind this petrol station which was also shelled, and now it is of course not functioning.
We're not quite sure about the signal, so we're trying to approach closer, but during the live streaming the signal could be interrupted due to the current situation, but we're trying to show you more. So not quite sure whether you can see the hotel right behind this this convenience store. You can see you certainly won't be able to tell the structure of the building, but it's hard to tell that specifically what is the specific target of the attack.
So as Yunfei just mentioned that as we approach to the capital city of Ukraine, as normal, everything was okay, but we know that the Russian forces try to close in on Kyiv. Just the fight would happened in the outskirts, specifically of the Kyiv. But after Istanbul talks back in March 29th, the two sides decided to make further efforts in peace, and then the Moscow, the Russian forces scale back the military forces, and now more and more civilians now are being encouraged to return home. As we travel to Kyiv, we could see more and more cars actually returning to the city, and but actually over the past 2 weeks we've seen increased traffic despite the checkpoints. But yeah, we'll see in the following hours if the checkpoints could be different from what we experienced, right?
The Ukrainian official has already reported that about more than 500,000 of refugees have already returned to the capital city of Kyiv. So operation is already certainly gradually back to norm. But when you walk along the streets, certainly we can see a lot of aftermath of the attack. I want to show you the hole right over there. So certainly this, we don't know what that is, but this is a hole, I would guess, targeted by a missile. So you can see there are many holes like this along the way.
Even on the highway, we've seen some hits that attacked by the artillery or cruise missiles. And also along the way, there was some woods actually being trimmed down. Well, according to our security staff, they said that the Russian side would just trim them down, or the Ukrainian side would trim them down to just use as a barricade, or just provide more convenience for the tank approaches.
So we want to go a little bit further. You can see. I want to show you this, the gas station. You can see the entire machine has exploded. You can certainly see the articles within the machine. So some would guess that this is kind of the effort that destroy all the connection of oil along the way. So that's why a lot of the gas stations are being targeted. So a lot of the gas stations are have been destroyed, and along you can also see over here the debris of the window of the glass debris over here. So definitely from this kind of aftermath, you will be able to tell how strong the attack was.
So as we mentioned before, there are some traces of the fierce fight. Like in weeks ago, you can see this window shattered, and this convenience store now is not functioning. We can see that, this is a store, right? So, but actually we cannot confirm if there were any other casualties, because even before the military operation, we know that there have been over 4.4 million people evacuated. So that's the reason why when we travel to Kyiv, we see those quiet villages where most of the civilians actually evacuated.
Absolutely. So due to the signal issue, we cannot go further, but certainly along the way, there's actually a burned car. Let me go a little bit further to show you the burned car over far away. So we cannot walk to that direction because if we get closer, the signal will go to disturb the car. There it is. Also along the way, you can see that tanks are being targeted, vehicles are being targeted, and the military, it looks like the roads, some of the parts of the roads haven't been cleared. Some people would say that they want to leave them there in order to hold on to other investigations, while others would say that it does take some time to clear out all the road conditions.
Yes. But I just wanted to explain to our audiences that it's just about 2 miles since we approached to the sections, because there were some parts that were under attack, but maybe when we approach to the city a little bit closer, the situation could be different, because the Russian side were repelled by the Ukrainian side, as Kyiv claimed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, although it's very cold over here, it's raining right now. But you can also smell the burning. You can also smell a little bit. Something is burning over here.
Burning gas.
The burning gas, and also you look at the wall. Is that bullet or something? The bullet hit.
So fortunately, actually, there was no explosion, because this is the petrol station, actually. But actually, we can see there was a fierce fight between the two sides, because this is the bullet. It means there must be some armed personnel maybe hiding behind this tank, this blue tank. And actually, to the opposite, this road, there is another petrol station in green.
That's why we want to talk that where we are at is not the only gas station that's being targeted. Along the way, almost every single one of them. There are very few of them that remain okay.
So the security staff explained to us the reason why we see these petrol stations along the road attack, just because when this is a highway, so most of the tanks or combat vehicles, when they wanted to move the troops, they wanted to use these stations in a way as maybe they wanted to just hide their target, so that they could be from the targets.
So shall we get on our car and maybe show more along the way?
Yes, I think that's what our audiences want to see, because they know that from the news outlets that many places, especially the outskirts of Ukraine, outskirts of the Kyiv, were under attack over the past weeks, right?
Absolutely. So I mean, once again, we traveled from Lviv, one of the major cities in western Ukraine, all the way here to a little bit closer to Kyiv. I would say the first half of our journey is completely okay, and everything is normal. And I think to some extent, when you see people, the crisis is basically a psychological impact to the people on the street. But if you see the street, things are totally fine.
Yes, we actually stay in Lviv for like 2 to 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Everything is okay, except some of the other day that we had some explosions in the city, but on a daily basis, that there's a bullet shell, right?
Or camera crews passes to me a bullet. So
Yeah.
certainly there's a
fierce fight with bullet, right?
We're actually not. We shouldn't touch this. Actually, we don't know.
Yeah.
Whether we could touch it, but anyways. So let's leave it over here. So that's what we found. So basically, there's a compact. There might be compact over here on this side. We specifically don't know what really happened.
So as we talked about the stay in Lviv, everything's good. Actually, I think the business is functioning as normal, and so that's the reason why most of the Ukrainian employees would just stay in the western city for a while. But we've seen that the situation here is more stabilized, and we've seen some of the foreign embassy staffs who just flee to the city now decide or prepare to go back to Kyiv in recent weeks. We know over the past weekends.
If you can see, there are also cracks on the street. Certainly, there are some kind of turbulence happens over here. The further we go, the slower our speed got. So I don't know how much time we would be able to get in. So we will see. Now we're trying to head on our car and we proceed. Just a reminder that our live stream.
So before we get on the car, I just wanted to ask our cameraman to show around that there are three petrol stations here. So we may move to show our audiences that there are three petrol stations which were under see that all cars and trucks are floating fast, and that's the direction to Kyiv, and that's the direction we are So for our team, heading to Kyiv, we've got we've got 2 minibuses. And we just wanted to show to our international audiences how it looks on the road. So as we are now prepared to
Thank you.
topics about what we've witnessed or recorded in the past 2 days.
Sure. But before that, I would like to remind our audience that our live streaming could stop at any time because the signal is quite stable.
Communication.
So if it really stops, then good night. Have a good day.
Yeah.
But we'll try to give you more information as we proceed. Sure. Do we want to maybe?
Yeah, as I mentioned that over the past weekend, we've learned that the EU head or the EU ambassador to Ukraine now are deciding to enhance their presence and support to Kyiv. As we know that the EU ambassador now has returned to Kyiv, and now the EU flag has been raised in the city, and that is a really strong signal from the EU community that they are enhance the presence and support Ukraine in this conflict.
But also the embassies of many countries, they have already paved their ways back to Kyiv. Some countries didn't leave at all. Some countries managed to go back. So as we can see, we can certainly see debris and shells. The barricades, yes. The barricades of the road. So, it looks like it's being destroyed over there.
I just wanted to feeling about the situation here, which is different from, as you mentioned, different from what we saw in the first 4 or 5 hours. On our left now, we can also see some here. Some shell. It's just more convenient for our camera. Just keep it on the right side. So I think checkpoints now on route to Kyiv is no problem. I think we have a correspondent previously in Kyiv. He told us that previously it would took about 12 hours of the travel from Lviv to Kyiv, but now I think we just want to take like about 7 hours because we have less.
Riders on the storm.